Hey everyone, I hope you all are safe and doing good. So we are discussing loops in Java. In the previous lecture, we have seen what are loops, why we need loops, and especially for loop in detailed manner with some coding exercises. Now, two types of loops are left, that is while loop and do while loop. So these two loops we'll be discussing in this video. What is while loop? What is do while loop? How while loop is different from for loop, and how while loop is different from do while loop. Means we will compare all the three loops. We will see the differences with example. We will see with some coding exercises as well, right? So first one is while loop. Why we need, see, it's just a loop, and we know if you want to repeat some block of instruction or something again and again many times, then we use loop. So basically it is also an iteration statement or a looping construct. That's it. But we already have a for loop. Then why we need another loop, while loop? Why we need do while loop? So all these loops are having their own benefits. Okay. In some cases, in some scenarios, it's better to use for loop. In some scenarios, it's better to use while loop. In some cases, it's better to use do while loop. It's like the best fit. In some scenarios, the best fit is for loop. In some conditions, in some situation, in some programs, the best fit is while loop. In some cases, the best fit loop is do while loop. That's why we have all the different types of loops, right? Although all the three are loops, they will iterate whatever the condition is given within the body of the loop. That's it. But yeah, there is some difference. Now, when we will see the difference, then you will get to know in which cases it's better to use while loop. It's not, we cannot use for loop there. Or if you use for loop there in those situations, then it would be very difficult, right? And if you use while loop, then the logic and how that the code would be very readable and easy to maintain and easy to read, and it's simple one, right? So first let's discuss why while, oh sorry, what is while loop. So basically the condition, oh sorry, the syntax of while loop is simple one. We just first write this keyword while, then in bracket one condition. We know the condition, termination condition basically. And this termination condition must be a boolean expression. That is for sure. Boolean expression means the expression that would be evaluated either true or false. So this expression should always give, this condition should always give boolean values, either true or false. Nothing else is allowed. If you write anything else here, some int or something like this, or if a expression that will evaluate to an int value, then you will get an error, right? I'll show you this thing also, don't worry. Then we have this parenthesis. So, and this is known as the loop body. Whatever you write here, this thing would be, this loop or this would be executed as long as this condition is true. Once the condition becomes false, the control would be out of the loop. Whatever you will write out of this, just out of this while loop body, right? So see, here we don't have any initialization, we don't have any increment or decrement, we just have condition. So in some cases, like in some scenarios, it's like your phone needs to charge until the battery is 100%. Once full, stop charging. So termination condition is when battery becomes 100%. Till then, keep charging, right? So we have this condition only. Till then, charging would be repeated. That is in loop. Or like the fan is moving till the switch is on or till the electricity is passing. Once you stop that electricity, once you switch off, the fan will stop. So fan is running in loop, moving, and we don't know. Like it's not like that. We know only 5 minutes the fan will be on. It's not like that. It's not a compulsion. Only the termination condition or the condition to stop that fan is when you stop passing that electricity. Then only that fan would be off or will not move. If you cut that electricity or if you switch off your fan, then only. This is the condition, right? Like maybe it's like something funny. If I comb my hair, I'm setting my hair. So it's not like that I will come only this way, then this way, then this way, and that's it. No, I will keep doing my hair or keep combing my hair until I'm satisfied that, yeah, that is the hairstyle I want, or my hair are all set. So basically, the thing is, when you don't know the number of iterations in some cases, then we use while loop. Then we use while loop. For loop is basically for, here we have initialization, then we have condition, and then we have those increment or decrement, or expression one, two, three, three expressions. So first one is initialization, then condition check, then we have some modify expression. Okay. In this case, we know how many times this loop body would be iterated. So mostly in cases like, if I know I have to, I can use the comb in my hair only 5 times. Either I do this, then 2, then 3, then 4 and 5. That's it. It doesn't matter my hair are all set or not. I cannot I cannot comb the, again, take the comb and take the comb and do my hair 6 times. No, I cannot use that comb now. So if that kind of situation is there, if you know the number of iterations, then it's best to use for loop. But in some situation, we don't know sometimes how many times the loop body should be iterated. We don't know sometimes. In that case, we use while loop. That's why, although we have for loop, but still we have another loop, that is while loop. Like in some cases, when you want to take input from user, and I just want, the condition is the user keep entering the number until the user enter a negative number, right? This is the program. Once a user enter a negative number, stop taking input from user and do something else, whatever you want to do. So here we don't know how many times the loop should be iterated, how many times you will take input from user. Suppose I am one user and I execute that program, I run that app, or then that kind of thing, that program. Then first I enter 5, then 0, then -1. So here the program will stop. After entering negative number, exit from the loop. But another user is executing the same program, and he or she is entering first 1, then 2, then 10, then 0, then 15, then 16, or then -5. So in this case, how many times the loop body would be iterated? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Once it will enter my negative number, stop. But here only 2 times. So number of iterations are different, right? So actually we don't know in advance how many iteration would be there, the number of iterations. So if this kind of situations are there, if this kind of program you need to implement, or this kind of scenario you need to implement in your project, then we use while loop. And generally we use while loop. You see, when we discuss projects, then you will get it better. Okay, that's why there is while loop. Okay, here we cannot use for loop. It's not a good idea to use for loop here. So I hope to something difference is clear to you. Why while loop? What is need of while loop? And the syntax, right? And the working also. Working is what? First, whatever is there at first, if you have some initialization or something else, that would be done. Then the condition would be checked. First task is this. If the condition is true, then control will enter here in the loop body. All the statements, whatever are written, that processing would be done. Again, condition would be checked. If still true, again, we will enter into this loop below. And if the condition becomes false, then we exit. So this is basic working of while loop. This is simple one, right? So the loop continues as long as the condition is true, and execution, the condition is checked. Now before each iteration of each loop, now before entering into the loop body, we are checking the condition. That's why I have told you in the previous video also, this is entry controlled loop. Okay. Now this is what working. I have told you this thing also. First condition check, then execution of that code, and then again iterate till the condition is true. Some examples are for loop is countdown, like uh, Diwali is coming, so it's like from 10 to 1, we will count down 10, then 9, 8 till 1, and then Happy Diwali. Or in New Year also, generally the countdown is there like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year, this kind of thing, right? So it's like first I is equal to 10. While I greater than 0, just print I and do I minus minus. Now in this case, if you will not do this I minus minus, then you have to take care. This condition is always true. So it would be an infinite loop. We will see this thing also. What he's doing, this program is doing addition of numbers from 1 to 100. Once the number becomes 100, stop doing addition. So this is that program, right? Like, see, working of this program. First, number is 0. Sorry, sum is 0. We have a variable sum, that is 0. We have a variable num, that is at first 1. Condition is while num less than equal to 100. So num is 1. 1 is less than equal to 100. Yes, condition true. So enter into this block and sum is equal to sum plus num. So now sum becomes 1 and then num plus plus. Now num becomes 2. Now again check the condition. Is 2 less than equal to 100? Yes. Again enter, again do sum, again num plus plus, and this loop would be in repetition till you get sum of 1 to 100 numbers. Once the number becomes 101, then again it will check the condition. 101 less than equal to 100? No. Then out of the loop. And here we can simply print whatever the sum is, whatever the sum you want, right? Although this thing we can also do with for loop also, because here we know number of iterations till 100 we want to print. So yeah, it's not like that. In these type of scenarios, you cannot use for loop or you cannot use while loop. If you know number of iteration in advance, then also you can use while loop. It's okay, you can use. But it is best to use when we don't know number of iteration in advance. In that case, like if you want to check the input whatever you give is valid or not, like I want that user should enter a number between 1 to 50, and if user enters 0, then this is not a valid number. So it will again ask, number is not valid, please enter a valid number. Then again if I enter suppose 51, again it will ask, again it will show a message, this is an invalid number, please enter a valid number. So it will keep asking from the user until a user enter a valid number between 1 to 50. So if you want to apply some validation on the input you take from user, then we can use while loop and do while loop also. But that we will see later. Okay, these are few examples. Like here we are using some this is valid is a method, and this is not input dot is valid, then input is equal to get input, again get input. So you don't need to worry about this, you can leave it now. Now let's come to do while loop, then we will see a practical of both the loops, right? Do while, as the name suggests, we will having one do and then while also. So first we are having a this keyword do, then no condition would be checked, then the loop body would be started. Here whatever you want to iterate, that you write some block of statement, then closing parenthesis, then we write while, that keyword, and then after that we write the condition. The condition is always a boolean expression, right? So see, I've told you that this is exit control loop. From the structure, from the syntax itself, it is clear it is exit control loop. Because without checking the condition, you can enter into this loop body. There is no condition we are checking. It's just the keyword do and the parenthesis, there is no condition. We will enter into this loop. First time we execute whatever is there in the loop. While exiting the loop, we are checking the condition. And now, if this condition is true, then again enter into this loop. While exiting, again check the condition. If still condition is true, again enter into this loop. Once the condition becomes false, out of the loop. So the code block is executed at least once, regardless of the condition. Doesn't matter condition is true or not, but at least once this block would be executed. So in some scenarios, when you want to execute the loop body at least once without checking the condition, then we generally use do while loop. Like in menu driven programs, like we want to do a simple calculator. So at first it should ask, like enter, you want to do add, subtract or something like this. And if user is not giving valid input, then exit. But at least first ask the input from the user without checking any condition. In those cases, we use do while loop, right? So we also face this kind of situation in your project when we do any project or the program, that you need to execute the loop body at least once without checking the condition. In those cases, we use do while loop, because both for and while loop are entry control loop. We cannot use those loops. We can use only do while loop also. That's why we have different kinds of loop, right? Now, this loop continues as long as the condition is true. You know the working now, I told you. So the code block is executed once without checking the condition, initial execution, then condition check, then iteration. If true, it will repeat. If false, execute, loop end. These are some examples of do while loop. In menu system, I told you, at least for one time I want to, execute whatever is there in the menu, like food choices. At least first enter the, give user a chance to enter the choice without checking the condition. Okay. So in that cases we use same. If you want to check for input validation also, we can use while loop as well as do while loop. Both are same. So input validation, and in game also, like if you are playing any game, and at last if you want to check, do you want to continue? If user enter yes, again continue. Till user enter no, continue the game. Do you want to play again? Yes. Do you want to play again? Yes. In those cases, we can use do while loop, right? So I'll show you example of these things. Let's see practically both while loop and do while loop and the difference. So in our first project, let's create a new Java class here, and what we are discussing, while and do while loop. Or first, let's see while loop demo. Just name this while loop demo. In main first, it's compulsory, and we see, let's see, the simple program that we have seen in the for loop also. We want to print just number from 1 to 10 or 1 to 5, but this time we use while loop, right? So if I simply write while, the condition is I want to print suppose 1 to 5, that's it. So till I is less than equal to 5, till then I just want to print suppose system.out.println I. But see now, here I, this cannot resolve the symbol I. Why you are getting, let me just select current file here and let me just run this. You will get an error here, and the error is cannot find symbol in line number 3, variable I. Location is the class while loop demo in line number 3. Why so? Because we are using this I, but we haven't declared this I. And we don't have here within this while loop any option that we can declare this. In for loop, we have at the same time in for loop, like we write something like this. If we do this with for loop, let me just do this for. At the same place, we can declare I is equal to 1. Same place, I can give the condition I less than equal to 5. At the same place, I can do I plus plus. So it's not 1, it's I. At the same line, in the same line, and we can simply print here I. That's it. But here we don't have such kind of option. So what you need to do, if you want to initialize and increment and decrement, then you cannot do here within this case, within these round brackets. No, you have to do initialization before using it. So int I is equal to 1, that is outside of this loop, right? Then increment and decrement also within the loop, I plus plus or plus plus I, anything you can write. Now it will work fine, and it will print 1 to 5 till 1 to 5. See, it is printing 1 to 5. Okay. Now if you do not do I plus plus, what will happen? I is 1 first. So let me just show you the working here. So this is the case. I'm just writing in shortcut system.out.println I. So what will happen? First, control will go to the main program. Entry is the that entry point is main function, and within main we are having first line int I is equal to 1. So some variable one memory would be allocated to this I. Name is I. Some address. I don't know the address. Let's suppose 1000. Address is in hexadecimal form. I'm just taking for the simplicity purpose that address is suppose 1000. We don't know the address. Now within this we have 1. Now don't ask my ma'am why you have taken 1000. You can take any address, 2000, anything, but yet address is in hexadecimal form internally. So that's why I'm just taking 1000 or any address you can take. The value is 1. Now control will be here in the next line. So while and the condition would be checked. Condition is 1 less than equal to 5. Yes, condition true. So if true, then enter into this while block. We are printing I. I value is 1. So 1 would be printed on the screen. Now again we will go to the condition because there is no increment, decrement or any other statement here. So again check the condition. I is still 1. Is 1 less than equal to 5? Yes, condition true. So we will print again I. Again check the condition. Condition is true. Again print 1. So this condition is always true. Will remain always true. So this would be an infinite loop. You have to take care of these cases because this is generally the mistake students do, beginners do. They forget to properly write a termination condition, and generally the loops would be an infinite loop. You have to take care of this thing. So if you do here I plus plus, then it will work fine. At first I would be printed. At first time I would be printed. Then I plus plus. Next statement is I plus plus. Now I becomes 2. 2. Again now condition would be checked. Is 2 less than equal to 5? Yes, condition is again true. So it will print here 2. Then I plus plus. Now I becomes 3. Now again condition would be checked like this up to 5. 1, 2, then 3 would be printed, then 4, then 5. Now 5 would be printed, and now I plus plus. I becomes now 4, then 5, then becomes 6. Now again check the condition. Is 6 less than equal to 5? No, this time the condition is false. So now control will be out from this loop. And there is nothing, we are just exiting from the program. So this output you will get. So this is basic working of the while loop. If you want to include, yeah, obviously in some programs you have to include initialization and the term this kind of increment, decrement or any update expression to stop the loop. You can use that. But in some programs you don't need any update kind of thing here. Okay, and you just put some condition here. We can simply write, if I simply write true rather than any condition, so this while condition will always be true. In that case also we can print 1 to 5 and we can stop the loop. So you try this out. Just write here I is 1 while true, and true means it's always true. So you have to now think, have to print 1 to 5, and after printing 1 to 5 have to stop the loop, have to exit. So within this loop body you have to put some condition to exit this loop. And one hint is we have used that kind of statement also, break. So you can use break, but how you will use break, that you have to think within this loop. So pause the video and try this out now. I hope you have done this. Suppose the condition I write here simply true, and generally you see that when we do some programs or projects, then generally we hear some writes true or something like this only. We don't put any condition I less than equal to this or this, right? This thing you will get better when we exercise, when we practice more programs. So if you write true, then this loop is always true. Then at first I is 0, sorry, I is 1, and the condition it's true, so obviously it's true. So it will just print 1. I plus plus, I becomes 2. Then condition would be checked. Condition is what? It's always true. So 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, like this. So it will keep repeating. It will be an infinite loop. Let me just show this to you. Let's run this because the termination, see, it is an infinite loop. It will keep printing the numbers, integer numbers. And let's just stop this forcefully. Now you have to put some condition to stop this. How to stop this now? If I write something like this, here if I write, if this I is equal to, it becomes 6. Then break. Then break. Let's see what output you will get here. So it is printing 1 to 6, but I just want to print 1 to 5. You try to find out what mistake we have done here. Why it is printing 1 to 6? Because I have already given a condition. If it becomes 6, then break. Break means it will be out of the loop. It shouldn't print 6. So you try to find out the mistake here. See, what we have done is, if I becomes 5, then condition is true, it will print 5. Then this condition is not true. So I plus plus. Now I becomes 6. Now again condition would be checked. It is true. So it will enter into this loop, and first line is I'm printing the size. So it will print first 6 and then it will check this condition. This condition is true, so break. So you have to put this line after checking this condition. Then it will work fine. It will only print now I till 1 to 5. See. So this kind of situation is there. If you write down here true means that would be an infinite loop. So in those situation we use this break statement to exit from this loop, to break the loop. In this case, it's mandatory to specify the condition here. See, in for loop, we can simply write something like this: for semicolon semicolon. And this would be an infinite loop and it will not give any error. Obviously, the result you will not get what you want, but it will not give any error. But here if you miss this condition, see the red line here, expression expected. So here you must have to give a condition that is compulsory. Illegal start of expression in line number 7 here. So condition is must. And it must be a Boolean expression. If I want to write suppose I. In C and C++, it is allowed because there 1 is considered as true, or any number other than 0 is considered as true in C and C++. In Java, it's not allowed. In Java, these are integer 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and Boolean values are only true and false. False, these two values, right? So see the error. Provided is int and required type is Boolean. I've told you na, here it should have a Boolean expression. True or false you can write, but you cannot write down any this kind of thing. Or 1 also you can write, you cannot write down here. Suppose simply 1. In C and C++ it is allowed, but in Java it's not allowed. 1 is also an int and you want Boolean value. But yet true and false is allowed. If I write here simply false, so in that case, first time it's false, so it will not print anything. Let's run this. And it's unreachable statement in line number 7. Because loop condition is always false, making the loop body unreachable. So it's always false. So it will give error like this loop body will never be reached. That's why it will give you an error. So this kind of thing is also not allowed. You can take it true. Or in other case, you can write not false. This is also allowed, but it is not updated inside the loop. So it will always be true. So this loop would be always, it's like an infinite loop, right? This is Boolean. This is like logical not. Logical not means here it is if it is false, then it will invert this. It will become true, right? Next thing is, so if you want to draw the flow chart of while loop, then at first we check the condition. So at first condition would be checked. If this condition is true, then whatever is there in the loop body, that would be executed. Then again check the condition. But if the condition becomes false, then exit from the loop. Exit from loop. So this is basic, like so you can say it's a flow chart of while loop. First condition would be checked. So it is entry control loop. And same if I say flowchart of do while loop. Then you can draw this. You can pause the video and try this out. At first, the loop body would be executed without checking any condition. So this is flowchart of do while loop. And then we check the condition, right? And now if this condition is true, if this is true, then again enter into this loop body. And if this condition is false, then exit from the loop. Exit from the loop, right? So this is do while loop and this is while loop. So this is exit controlled loop. This is entry controlled loop. Okay. Now suppose if I write here same I less than equal to 5, and let's just delete this break. Simple program we are writing. Just print I and I plus plus 1 to 5. What if I write semicolon? I put a semicolon here. There is no error. But the thing is, you will not get any output. See, let's run this and I'll show you. See, nothing would be there, the output. So you enter anything. See, you can enter anything. But you have to stop this. So this loop, this is always true. And we have terminated this. So this will never be reached. We are still in this loop. This is true, 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 true. Because here we are not doing any increment, decrement. So I would always be less than equal to 5. But here same if I do in this case, if you take this for loop and here if you write down semicolon, if you put a semicolon, then okay, here obviously you cannot resolve symbol I because we have terminated this loop. So this I is scope of this I is within this loop only, within this body only, till here, till this braces. Because we have terminated this. Now these statements are not these statements, this I and this is not part of loop now. You have terminated the loop here, that's why you are getting an error. So let's suppose we take I int I is equal to or I, only I, and here we are assigning the value I is equal to 1. Then obviously it will not give any error because this I is outside of this one. Now the thing is, it will print now I value, something it will print. Let me show you. It will print 6. Why so? In while loop, it was not printing anything. It was in loop, stuck somewhere, not getting any output, not printing anything. Here we are same, we have terminated the loop, but still we are getting output 6. Why so? Because within the same expression, we are incrementing this I again and again. So first I is 1, then condition check, yes, true. There is no loop body, it's okay. Third, after that, I plus plus, I becomes 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. And once I become 6, this condition is not true. So we would be out of this loop. Out of this loop is this statement and it will print 6. If I, but here we are not doing any I plus plus or anything. The I would always be 1. 1 less than 5, 1 less than 5, 1 less than 5. True, 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 true. So, I mean, and if you have terminated this thing, so it is not going to, I mean, it's not able to, execute this statement also. That's why you will not get any output here. If I remove this and if I do I plus plus here, in that case, let's see. See now, even in for loop also you are not getting anything. I hope now you are getting this thing. You can do anything here, but you're not getting any output. You can print anything. Nothing is happening. Let's forcefully terminate this. Why so? Because in this case, now I plus plus we have moved out of this expression, out of this loop statement here. And we have terminated this loop here only. So this would never be reached. So would always be 1. I less than equal to 5 true, I less than equal to 5 true, but there is no loop body. So it will be in this here only. Nothing would be printed. I hope you are getting the difference what I want to tell you. Right now, next is now you have to try. Now we want that the user should enter a number between 1 to 50. This is the coding exercise. If the user enters a value outside this range, outside 1 to 50, I want users should enter from 1 to 50. If user enter out of 1 to 50, then it should display error message until it is invalid number, and again ask, then again enter a valid number until the user provides a valid number within the specified range 1 to 50. So this we will solve right now with the while loop. So pause the video if you got the problem and try this out. Suppose user enter, it will ask from the user. Let me show you what kind of output it should give you. So this kind of output you should get. It will ask enter a number between 1 to 50 and I am entering suppose 0. So it will give you a message invalid number. Please enter a valid number. Again 89. Invalid number. Please enter a valid number. It will keep asking from the user. Suppose 67. Please enter a valid number. Minus 78. Please enter a valid number. And now I enter if suppose valid number. Suppose 23. So it should print some message like maybe thanks. Or it should print also you entered whatever the number you have entered. So this kind of thing I want. It will keep asking me until I enter a valid number between the range 1 to 50. Both are inclusive 1 and 50. So pause the video and try this out now. So we have to take input from the user. So let's create a object of scanner class system.in, and first let's ask from the user enter a number between 1 to 50. It's like 1 to 50 or 1 to 50. And let's take int num a variable and let's store this in scanner dot next int. Now we are using while loop. So first condition would be checked while num is less than 1 or num is greater than 50. Then it will keep asking me that you have entered a invalid number. Please enter a valid number. So what it will print a message invalid number and slash in the new line it should print please enter a valid number. And then it will again take the input from user num is equal to scanner dot next int, because user will again enter, so you have to put here this line. It will again user will again enter a number and then again check the condition. If it is not within the range, again print this line, again take an input. Now once user enter a valid number, then exit from this loop, and at last out of the loop we simply print you entered whatever the number you have entered, and that is in num. You entered this, and this is a we can simply print some message. This is a valid number. That's it. Let's run this and try what is happening. Okay, in line number 13, this is expected. What we have done is in line number 13, we have done something. Okay, we have missed this concatenation operator. So you're getting the error. Let's run this again and now see enter a number between 1 to 50. So I'm entering 90. Invalid number, please enter a valid number. 78. Again, minus 8. Again, 0. Again, if I'm entering a valid number, 34. So you entered 34 and this is a valid number, and then exit. So this is what we are checking. We are putting some validation on input, whatever user enter. So it's just a number, but we can check for like password also. It will keep asking you the password if you enter an invalid password, incorrect password. In that kind of program, please enter a valid password, please enter correct password, like this. So it will keep repeating that thing also. But password is in string, so don't worry, I'll discuss that thing also, how to compare string. But first is we are checking only the number, integer numbers, right? So I hope you got this problem. So now let's just comment this out, and one more thing I want to show you. Let's just uncomment this code. So int I1, and suppose I write here int I equal to 1, and I'm printing I, then I plus plus, and that's it. So pause the video for 5 or 10 seconds and tell me or think what output you will get here. See, I is 1, I equal to 1. So this is equality condition. We are checking 1 equal to 1. Yes, this will give you true. True means it will simply print, control will enter here and it will simply print whatever the value of I, that is 1. Now I becomes 2. 2 equal to 1, no. Means out of the loop. So it will simply print 1. Let's run this and see. The output should be 1. Okay, we are getting exact output 1. But what if I write here equal to 1 only? So see, it will give you error. Because I equal to 1, it is simply assignment operator. So we are simply assigning a value to this I. Now I becomes 1. We are assigning a value. Means it is int and we require is boolean. That's why it is giving you error. But in C and C++, it will not give any error. And this mistake generally students do. Rather than putting double equal to, it just put single equal to. In programming, double equal to, single equal to, both are different. Double equal to means this is equality operator. We are checking both are equal or not. Left hand side equal to right hand side or not. But simple equal to is assignment operator here. We are simply assigning whatever the value at right hand side to the left hand side variable. Okay. Now let's practice some programs on do while loop. So same program first. Let's just copy this thing. We are simply printing number from 1 to 5 with do while loop also. So let's just correct this error and let's create a new file here and I name this do while demo. This class is do while demo, and in main we simply take one variable, that is int I is equal to suppose 1. Because in do while also we can simply put one condition, because here first we write do, then curly braces, then we write while, and the condition is suppose we want to print I 1 to 5, so I is less than equal to 5. Till then this loop would be executing. So in loop simply I am printing I, that's it. So till then it will keep printing the value of I. But here see one thing, we are getting an error here. See the red line, semicolon expected. This is the difference between while and do while. While you are putting a condition in do while loop, then it is compulsory to put a semicolon here. Don't forget. This will do same thing. It will print 1 to 5. Let's run this and see. Okay, it is infinite loop. Okay. What we have done is, see the mistake I have done even. I'm just telling the beginners do this mistake, but I have done this mistake. We forget updating the I variable. The I variable would always be true because I is 1. We enter into this loop and we are simply printing 1 first time. Then while exiting, check the condition 1 less than equal to 5. Yes, condition true. Again enter this. Again enter in this loop. Again print 1. Again check the condition. I is still 1. So to exit from the loop, we have to increment or maybe decrement in some cases the value of I. You have to change this value. So here we are printing 1 to 5. So we have to increment this I plus plus. Now it will simply print 1 to 5. Okay. But here let me show you one thing. I should be, if the condition I change, I is, suppose I put this condition, while I is greater than 10, then only just continue executing these statements. So I is 1 and we know this condition is false because 1 is not greater than 10. But still you get an output 1. Let me show you. Still it is printing 1 because I have told you at least once the loop body would be executed. Regardless of the condition, it's true or not, it doesn't matter. But at least once the control will enter here. So I is 1, control will enter here, it will print 1 and I becomes now 2. Now see, I is greater than 2 is greater than 10, no, means out of the loop. That's it. And if out of the loop, if you print I value, then what do you think? output you will get now. Pause the video and think. Let's run this. It's 1 and 2. Because within this, it was 1, then it becomes I plus plus. It means I becomes 2. And this condition is not true. So we are out of this do while loop and it will print now 2. So the condition is that's why it's known as exit control loop. So in some cases, if you want to execute the statement at least once, then use do while loop without checking the condition. If you want to write down the same program, what we have done in while loop demo, this program, enter a number between 1 to 5, a valid range, but you have to do the same program with do while loop. So pause the video and try this out and see the difference. So I hope you have done this. Let's just copy paste this program here because we need the same program, right? And let's just comment out the previous program, whatever we have, this one. So in this, we have first, we are taking input, right? So we don't need to put any condition here, this while. No, you have to put this condition first. We write do. Within do, what you need to do is, let's delete this. You don't need to ask from the user outside of this loop that enter a number between 1 to 50 and all. We will simply ask here only. So let's just cut these lines and paste within this loop body. So do and it will ask enter a number between 1 to 50 and it will take, here we are taking the number. So now we check. And after this, we have to put a while condition. While this whatever number, while num less than 1 or num greater than 50. If this is true, then keep repeating. Then asking enter number, enter number. But see, num and num cannot resolve the symbol num because we have declared this num within this do loop, within this loop body. And we are accessing this outside of the loop body. So that's why it is giving you error. So you have to declare first here int num. And then we simply here take input from user. So just declare num here and you can take input in this loop body now. That is fine. And after exiting it from the loop, it will print you entered this number and this is a valid number. But it should print a message also. If you enter a invalid number, then it should print a message also. So within this, we can put a condition if this num is less than 1 or the num is greater than 50. Then simply print a message invalid number. Let's run this and see what type of output we are getting here. Between 1 to 50, 90. Invalid number, enter number between 1 to 50, 0. Again, it is asking -8. Again, invalid number, enter number between 1 to 50, 45. You entered 45 and this is a valid number and then exit. So same program we have done with do while loop as well for input validation. And see the difference. In while loop, before entering into this while loop, you are asking from the user, enter a number between 1 to 50 and int num is equal to this because you have to put the condition on num before entering into this loop. But here in do while demo, before in this before this loop, we are just creating an object and just declaring the num. We are not taking input. Within the loop, only one time I am asking enter a number between 1 to 50 and I'm taking the input. If this is not valid, just print this message because we are checking the condition outside of this loop body, right? Okay. So now I hope you got the working of while and do while loop both. Now, next exercise for you is you have to write a program that provides a menu driven calculator, simple calculator. It will do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulo. 5 things. 1 for addition, like this. 2 for subtraction, 3 for multiplication, 4 for division, 5 for modulo, for mode, and 6 or exit. If user enter 1, then it will ask enter two number. User enter two number like 2 and 3, then it will give the addition is 5. Then it will again ask. Again it will show this menu. 1 for addition, 2 for this, 2 and this. It will ask again enter your choice. Enter your choice. Again if I enter suppose 4, so it will ask me 4 is for division. Enter two number. So suppose I have entered one number is 2, another number is again 2. So it will give me the division that is 1. And it will again ask me enter your choice. Once I enter 6, then only it will exit. Otherwise, it will keep me asking whatever the choice you want, whatever the thing you want in this calculator. When you press 6, now it will exit. And that's it. Means something like this it can print exiting from the calculator. Thanks. And it will exit. Only if I enter 6. So I hope you got this. You have to implement this simple calculator program. And one more thing you have to apply in division. If I enter second number is 0. So we know if you divide any number by 0, that is an undefined behavior, undefined number. So it will show me the error. Like dividing by 0 will give you undefined result. So it will show you this error message also. Okay. I hope you got this problem statement. First, you have to display a menu with options. These options. It will show the user this menu. Then it will ask from the user, enter your choice, and perform the operation according to the user choice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? And it will also display error message if the user attempts to divide by 0. You have to use this. You have to use a do while loop for this. For displaying the menu until the user selects the option 6 to exit. And if there is some invalid option user selected like 7, then it will print invalid number, invalid choice. And it will again ask, it will again show the menu to the user. Please enter a valid choice. Something like this. So think, and we have whatever we have done till now. From that knowledge only you will get the solution. You have to think. So give yourself some time, pause the video 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and try to implement this program without any help. Please pause the video right now and try this out. So we will do this exercise on a project. We have one more project that is sorry, coding exercise. So just open our project that is coding exercises in new window. And here we will write down. So let's make a new project, a new sorry class here in this project, and calculator using do while, or calculator project using do while in main. Okay. First, let me show you what kind of output you should get. So whenever you run, it will show you welcome to my calculator. If you want, you can include this calculator symbol as well. You think how to include this in your program, some decoration kind of thing. Then it will show this menu to the user and enter your choice. I enter 1. It will ask me enter two number, 2 and 3. So see, addition of 2 and 3 is 5. And again, it will give me this menu again. My choice is now 4. Enter two number, 2 comma 0. See, division by 0 is undefined. And it is just printing -1, but you can skip this. I have just implemented this with the arrow labels and switch expression. That's why it is printing -1. But you don't use switch expression and arrow labels. You can simple traditional switch first use. So you don't need to return this -1. It will simply print in case of you division by 0 is undefined. That's it. No -1. Then again it will show welcome to my calculator. Suppose I want to exit now. Or I want to enter, I just entered by mistakes 8. Invalid choice. So in your case, it should only print invalid choice, no -1. Because you will first use only the traditional switch syntax, switch statement. Now I enter 6, exiting the calculator, and that's it. It will print exiting the calculator and exit, no -1. So this kind of output your project should give. Now you can try this out. So we have created a, scanner object. We will use do while loop. So do, and then here we write the while condition, and while condition is what? Whatever the choice. Let's suppose take a variable choice, choice, choice not equal to 6. Till then, keep executing this loop. If the choice becomes 6, then exit. But see the choice, you are taking here this variable, but so you have to first declare this variable here, choice, right? Okay. Now this will be removed, don't worry. Int choice we have declared here. Now within loop, within this do, you have to just write down the loop body. That is the main thing you have to do. So first thing I want is it should show the menu to the user, addition, subtraction, and this kind of thing. So you have to write down that thing first. So this kind of thing I want. First, this line, this is just for decoration purpose, and this Unicode sequence is for the calculator symbol. You can search on YouTube what is the symbol for calculator emoji if you want to use in Java program. Then it will give you, and you can just simply copy paste this. Then again this, and it will show this menu 1 addition to this 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it will ask enter your choice from 1 to 6, and we have taken a variable choice is equal to scanner dot next int. Till now we are done. Now suppose user has entered some choice out of 1 to 6. Now according to the choice, either you can use if else, but obviously that would be a little bit complicated. If condition this, then else if like this. So better to use switch. We have a better option, switch. So traditional switch we will use. Switch syntax, switch, and simple this variable is choice, whatever user will enter. Now case 1. If user enter 1, then you have to perform addition. So in case 1, first, obviously, we will ask from the user enter 2 number. Then have to take input from user. You have to take like num1 is equal to the object we have created, scanner object dot next int semicolon, and one more num we have num2. Yeah, input is also done. Next, just you have to do num1 plus num2 and just print. So in simply in this we can print the addition of, I want to fetch the number num1 plus the addition of num1 and then fetch the second number plus num2. Don't forget to put these concatenation operator, right? You have to carefully write down this line to frame your correct output. Num1 and num2. Then it should print addition of this is with a space, and then we simply do num1 plus num2. That's it. Or you can take a simple variable int sum is equal to num1 plus num2, and here you can simply fetch the value from sum. That is also fine. But don't forget to put a break. This is complete, one case is done, or one case is done. Addition. Like this only you have to write down your all cases. Case 2 is for what I'm saying is for subtraction. So same it will ask from the user these things, right? Okay. See, it is giving you error case statement outside switch because we have put this bracket here. There is no parenthesis. This block is outside. There is no parenthesis. So in traditional switch syntax, you don't need to put any parenthesis here if you are writing more than one statement. But if you are using arrow labels and if you are writing here more than one statement, then you have to put parenthesis. So I guess case 2 is also not that much tough. Let's just copy paste this only. It will ask same enter 2 number, but now the addition rather than addition, subtraction. Subtraction of num1 and num2 is num1 minus num2. But one more error you are getting here. See, variable num1 is already defined in the scope. Now I have told you when we're using switch that if in one case, if you declare any variable, then the scope of that variable is within that complete switch statement. So here the opening braces of switch, and suppose here the closing braces of switch. So within this, if you write 10, 15, or 100 cases, then these variables would be accessible to all the cases. So you cannot again declare the same variable name. Here you can take num3, that is fine. But why to take another variable? I just reassign the same variable. Just take num1 is equal to this, num2 is equal to this. Just declare this once and then reinitialize or assign the value again and again. Now it will do subtraction. Third case, same applies the same logic for multiplication, division, mode. So I guess that is not that much tough. Let's just do this. I have done this already, so let's just copy paste that code only. Okay, we cannot copy paste because there I have used arrow labels. Don't worry, let's just write. But here, see now in division, you have to check one more condition. If this num2 is 0, then you have to print an error message. So before that, you have to write down here if num2 equal to 0. In that case, it should print an error message. Dividing by 0 is undefined or some error message. Else, it will simply print the division. So that is a different thing here. And in case 5, you have to write down the logic for mode. So the subtraction, not subtraction here, the mode or the modulo division of num1 and num2 is, we know what the operator is, this. Break simple in case, we have done case 5 and case 6. In simply case 6, we are printing exiting the calculator. So before exiting, it should print a message like exiting the calculator. Or it's not compulsory to print. You simply don't need to write here this exiting the calculator line also. Okay. Okay. Control Z break. And okay, we have to handle the default cases as well. If suppose by mistake I enter 8, then it should print like you have entered a invalid choice. So that thing we will cover in default. Here it should print invalid choice and try again, something like this. Some message it should print. That's it. We have handled all the cases, right? And this is the exit condition. So yeah, we are done with our calculator. We are ready. Let's run this and see. So you have to first select here the current file. Let's run this now. So welcome to my calculator addition this. Press 1. Enter 2 number 2 3. Addition of 2 3 is 5. Enter 3. 2 number 56 7 89. Multiplication of this is this. Let's say select 4. 2 number 67 0. Division by 0 is undefined. Okay. Again select 4. 56 45. Division is 1 because we are here taking int value. You can also take double. It's up to you. So better to take double, right? I have taken int. So you take the data type of int num1 and num2 is double. Now to exit, or suppose 78 I have entered by mistake. So invalid choice, try again. Let's just exit now. 6, exiting the calculator, and that's it. So yeah, we are done with our calculator project. So like this, now you can add multiple option as well. This is the simple calculator we have done. So as many option as you want, you can add here. You can now you can try this out with, it is your assignment. This is traditional switch, but now you try this out with the switch enhancement, arrow labels, and use the switch as an expression. So this thing you need to do, right? Okay. Now one more exercise we have. What you need to do is, the exercise is, you will keep asking from the user, enter the password, right? And we have a password. First, suppose we have set a password is something like this. Suppose a password is anything. It's like password 111 1111. This is my password, correct password. So you can take a variable string and any variable name you can take, like correct password is equal to this. This is my password, and we will ask from the user, enter password. Suppose user has entered some password like Jenny Khatri. So obviously this password is not matching with the correct password. So it will again prompt the message, enter the password. So and it will show a message also, invalid password, enter the password. Again it will show, enter the password. Then, so first it will ask from the user to input a password. Then it will verify if the entered password is matching with the predefined password or not. If the password is incorrect, then it will display an error message and allow the user to enter the again the password. You have to use do while loop for that. And if the entered password, suppose again it is asking, and this time I have entered the correct password, password 11111. Now this password is matching with the predefined password. So it will print a message something like this, um, access granted, this kind of message, and exit from the program. So yeah, this is a little bit different from, because there we were using numbers, integer 1, 2, 3, 4, something like this. But here we are matching strings. You have to compare the entered password with this password, and these both are strings, right? So with simply equal to operator, we cannot compare the content of the string. I have told you in the previous lectures also. For that we have, suppose there is a string str1 is equal to Jenny and str2 is equal to Khatri. And I want to compare the content of these two strings. I want to check these two strings are equal or not. So we have a equals method. We will see in string these all the methods, but for this video you just need to remember this one method only, that is equals. So how to check? Just write down any one string here, str1 dot, call the method that is equals, and in bracket let's pass the second string str2, and it will give you the result either true or false. Here it will give you false because these two strings are not equal. One is Jenny, one is Khatri. If here also I have Jenny, then it will give you true. So equals method is used to compare the content of the string. If you compare the string something like this, str1 equal to str2, then it will simply compare these object reference, right? It will not compare the content. This thing we have already discussed in one of our previous video in detailed manner. So for now you have to use equals method. So pause the video if you got the statement and try this out. So let's name it. Check password using do while, this coding exercise. And in main, first let's define a password, the correct password. So this is string, and the name is, I'm taking correct password, variable name. Correct password is equal to whatever the password you want, you can set, like something like this, PASSWORD 1111, something like this. Or any symbol also you can take, like dollar. This is my correct password. I have set this. And obviously this is the password, so I don't want that anybody can change in my program this password. So make it constant using final keyword. So now this becomes constant. You cannot change this now, this correct password. If I want to change this, correct password is equal to something else, this, it will give you error. See the red line? Cannot assign a value to final variable. And if you remove this final variable, then it's fine. Anybody can now reassign, can change my password. That is not I want. So generally we take make this final. To make something, to make a variable or some kind of thing, it's constant. Then we use this final keyword. Okay. Now we obviously you take input from the user, so you have to create an object of scanner class. So we use do while loop. So this is the body of the loop. Outside of this, we put a while condition. Within this, you have to put a condition. And the condition is what? Till the entered password is not equal to this correct password, then we will keep repeating this loop. Like again, ask the user, enter the correct password, enter the correct password. So some kind of condition you have to put. So we will take a variable in which user will enter the correct password. So let's declare that variable also here. And that would be string. So string and just take a variable name entered password. So here we write down not equal to. What not equal to? Entered password dot equals the correct password. Till then, okay, right now it is giving error, but don't worry, we will take input from the user, then this will be removed. Till the entered password is not equal to correct password, because this will give you entered password dot equals correct password, right? And we are writing a logical note. So till this is not equal, then keep repeating this line. The whatever statement you write in this do while loop, keep repeating that thing only. So in do body of the statement, do while loop, in this sorry body of the loop, what we write is enter your password, and whatever password you will enter is equal to scanner dot next line, because we will take string. Okay. If you have to display error message as well. So if this entered password dot equals correct password, but you have to put here not. If not, these are not equal, then only it should print a message invalid password and try again. Something like this. Okay. And if you have entered the correct password, then after this while loop, what we will print? A message access granted. If you have entered the correct password, then it should print this message. Let's run this and see you are getting the output or not. Enter the password. Jenny Khatri. Invalid password, try again. See, invalid password, try again. And now I am entering the correct password. That is password and 1111, I guess, and dollar. See, the correct password is there, so it will print a message access granted. As simple as that. So I hope you got why we are putting this kind of these two conditions, especially this condition. If you haven't get this, you pause the video, dry run this and try this out. See, at first it will ask enter your password, and suppose I have entered. In entered password, now I have what? Jenny. So in if statement, we have entered password is Jenny dot equals correct password is this. Jenny dot equals this. What it will give? This will give you false, right? Because password are not matching Jenny and this. So this line will give you false, and we have put that's why here logical not, and it will convert this false into true. So if this is true, then only it will print this message invalid password, try again, right? Now while exiting, it will check this condition. Now entered password is Jenny dot equals correct password is this. So it will give you true, sorry, false, right? entered password dot equals correct password. Only this statement will give you false. But if you simply put here this condition, so at first time it is false, so we are not going to enter into this loop again and exit. But I don't want this thing. If this is false, means if the password is not correct, then again it should ask. That's why we are here again writing logical not. See, if you remove this logical not and if I run this, then see what output you are getting here. First time it will ask and I just print Jenny. Invalid password, try again and then access granted. That's it. But that's not what I want because we have changed this condition. So it should be logical not. Because Jenny is not equal to password 1111. So this statement, this method equals will give you false. And as we have put here logical not, so logical not false equal to give you true. This is something like this. Logical not. Yes. And as we know, this is going to invert. If there is true, it will become false. If this is false, now this will become true. So this will now become true. And while this condition is true, till then we are repeating the statement. So this condition is true. So again repeat this. If the password is, suppose I have entered here password, correct password. This is the password now. Now within if, only this statement. Entered password is this, password this, dot equals correct password is this. Means it will give you true. Both are equal, so it will give you true. And we have put logical not here. So logical not true becomes false. If this is false, the control will not enter into this if block. Outside of the if block, just we are checking now exiting the loop while condition. Password, entered password, correct password, both are equal now. So it will give you true. And here now the scene is logical not true. And logical not true is now becomes false. So while condition now becomes false. As soon as it becomes false, exit from the while loop and it will print access granted. So I hope you got the working of this thing. These kind of things we will do many times in a maybe when we are discussing projects or programs. So please, if you are not getting, you can pause the video, again watch the video, take some break, and again watch this. But please understand these concept while loop, do while loop, these conditions, how to put the condition, how to use do while loop, and all this. Okay, and try out these exercises. So if you compare the while and do while loop, then you know now very well because we have covered everything. Before execution condition is checked. This is after condition. Minimum execution 0. At least once the body of the loop would be executed. Use case pre-test scenarios where you want to test the condition first. And this is post-test scenarios where at least you want to execute the body at least once and then, I mean, check the condition. Then you can use do while loop, right? And like basic difference between for while and do while is it is, see, for loop is best for when you know the number of iteration in advance, then it is best to use. When you don't know number of iteration in advance, it's best to use while loop. And when you want that ensure at least one execution of your body of the loop, then use this loop. Okay, without checking any condition. So this is simple exercise. You just have to write a while loop or do while loop to print even number from 0 to 20. Sorry, from 2 to 20. So that's not that much tough. But while you are using loops, you have to take care of some points, especially in finite loops. You have to frame your termination condition, I mean, very carefully, right? Because many times loop would be infinite loops. You have to take care of this thing. Then avoid unnecessary computation within loops, right? Unnecessary computation or unnecessary comparison or anything within loops. You have to take care of this thing also. That should not be a case. And you have to take care about the edge cases or the boundaries, like less than, you should print I is less than 5 or less than equal to 5, something like this. Like if you want to print number from 1 to 5, then what exactly you should print, what exactly you should write down in condition, something like this. I is equal to 1, I should be less than 5, and I plus plus. So it will only print 1, 2, 3, 4. If you write here equal to, then only it will print 1 to 5. So these are the some edge cases, boundaries. You have to take care of this thing, right? Now that's it regarding this video. Now we have to practice many questions and all the exercises we have done in the previous case, like all the in for loop. You have to try all these exercises using while loop as well as do while. This is your assignment. You have to practice all these questions, all those questions using while and do while loop, right? So I hope now you get for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So now that's for this lecture. Now I'll see you in the next lecture. Till bye. Take care.